Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Light India. This is going to be session 9 for the series that we have started, AWS Tutorials for Beginners. In this video, we are going to discuss the topic Elastic IP in AWS and how to associate Elastic IP to instance and network interface. So, first of all, what is Elastic IP addresses? So, this is one of the most important point and one of the most useful thing as well. So, basically an Elastic IP address is a static public IPv4 address designed for dynamic cloud computing. So how it is helpful? Very first thing is that it is fine, it is static and it is IPv4, everything is fine. So basically suppose your website is running on any particular IP, right? So if your server goes down or if you terminate that one or if you create new one, whatever you do, in that case also you must have same static IP and that can be achieved with the help of Elastic IP address. And even if you stop and start the server and it has public IP, then the public IP will change even just after you stop and start. So to have the same public IP and to keep the load or your website running on the same IP, Elastic IP address is useful. Because suppose IP of Google 8.8.8 changes every day, then it is not going to be convenient to access that. So basically it may just ruin the user experience. So due to that reason, it is helpful. In fact, it is very much helpful. So now there are few points which are related to Elastic IP address which you must be aware of. First is Elastic IP address is static, that is obvious. It is region specific. So if you have allocated one IP address in one region, it will be there only. You will not be able to find it in any another region. First allocate and then use. So before using any Elastic IP address, you have to allocate them first. Only after that you will be able to use them. If Elastic IP address is with an instance, then it is also associated with the instance primary network interface. Elastic IP address with network interface that is also attached to an instance is also associated with an instance. So suppose one Elastic IP address is with a network interface and that network interface is also attached to an instance. Then we can say Elastic IP address is also associated with the instance. Deassociate an Elastic IP address from a resource and then associate it with different resource. So basically you can move the Elastic IP address of a resource to any other resource by doing these steps. I will guide you about all these steps in this video via AWS console itself. Now allocate an Elastic IP address. So for that you have to go to the navigation pane and there you have to choose network and security and then Elastic IPs. Basically it is under EC2 itself. Then you have to choose allocate Elastic IP address. When you allocate an Elastic IP address, you choose the network border group in which you allocate the EIP. A network border group is a collection of availability zones, local zones, wavelength or zones from which AWS advertises a public address. So let's discuss these steps in AWS console itself and try to follow all these steps so that we can have better and clear understanding about it. So first is, as I have already told you, that it is under EC2 dashboard only. So here you can go to network and security as we have already discussed and then Elastic IPs. We can see here, we don't have any Elastic IP address. So as discussed, first we have to allocate the Elastic IP address. For that, click here. You can choose network border group. It could be anything like this. We have selected AP South 1 here and then just click on allocate. That's it. This Elastic IP address has been allocated to you. These are very simple steps and now tag an Elastic IP address. Here again in the navigation pane, choose Elastic IPs. Now you are already aware where Elastic IPs are there. Select the Elastic IP address to tag and choose actions, view details. In the tag section, choose manage tags. Specify a tag key and value pair. Add tags to add additional tags. However, it is optional. It is not mandatory. If you want to add more tags, then it is fine. Otherwise, you can just skip this part and choose save. This is all that you need to do. And I'm just going to do the same in front of you. We have already selected the Elastic IPs. So here we are selecting this particular IP, actions, and then where we have to go, we have to click on view details, just discussed right now. And now here is the option manage tags. You can click here, add tag, key is name and first EIP. We can name anything. You may think that these are not useful, but in fact when you make bigger projects, It is extremely helpful. It helps you in identifying the resources, because when you will have so many EIPs, suppose just 50, then you will not be able to isolate which one you can delete, which one you have to use, how it is going to use. Suppose you have made one project by the name Tata Motors, then it should have the tag Tata Motors. That's it. You will be able to identify it easily, and then you just need to click on save. It is done. However, if you want to add more, you can add tag, but that is optional. So you can just skip that part. So let's discuss few more things. Associate an elastic IP address with an instance or network interface. So just now what we have done, we have just allocated elastic IP address, but we have to associate it with some instance or network interface. For that, again go to the navigation pane, elastic IPs, select the EIP address to associate and choose actions. Associate elastic IP address. For resource type, choose instance. Choose the instance with which you want to associate the elastic IP address. You can search for a specific instance. This step is optional. For private IP address, specify a private IP address with which to associate the elastic IP address and choose associate. Let's try to perform this in the console again. So I'm just going to console. Issue is that I don't have any instance right now, so let me just launch one. I'm naming it EIP itself. Okay, we have to select key pair. I'm just proceeding without any key pair. Yeah, it is getting launched in background. So okay, let me go to the elastic IPs again. I'm just selecting this one. Click on actions, associate elastic IP address, choose instance. There is no instance as of now. Why? Because our instance may be still coming up. Let me check the instance state. Yeah, it is there now. Let me check again. Yeah, we are getting this instance now. So private IP address, it is optional. So if you want to choose, that is fine. Otherwise you can just skip and you just need to click on associate. Yeah, it is done. Elastic IP address associated successfully. This is all that we have to do. Now, in case of network interface, for resource type, choose network interface. Here where we have selected instance type, choose the network interface with which to associate the elastic IP address. You can also search for a specific one. So let's try to do this one as well. So select the EIP again, associate the elastic IP address. Here in the resource type, you can see instance is by default selected. We have used that already. Now we have to select network interface. And here we can select the ENI. If you want, you can choose the private IP, otherwise it is fine, and associate. Yeah, it is done successfully. You can see here. And now deassociate an elastic IP address. For that, again select the EIPs, select the EIP that you want to deassociate, choose actions, deassociate elastic IP address, choose deassociate. That's all. So again, let me show you. I'm just selecting this one, click on actions, deassociate elastic IP address, deassociate. Yeah, it is done. You can see it is not associated with anyone. And now again, release an elastic IP address. Basically, we have deassociated elastic IP address, still we will be charged for it. If you want to get rid of the elastic IP address, you don't want to use it further in the future, then you can release it. For that, again select the elastic IP addresses, select that particular elastic IP address that you want to release, click on actions and release this elastic IP address, choose release. That's all. Let me just show you again. However, this is very simple, but yeah, it's still release elastic IP addresses. You can see here and then release. Yeah, that's all. So friends, this was all in this video. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great learning and please do subscribe the channel IT India.